Hi, I'm Maya Dion, and I am your Bounce Back Widow Coach. I'm the CEO and founder of Widows Do Bounce Back, and here we help people grow in the gap that grief left behind. If you're looking for how to grow forward and you're just not sure where to start, I've got amazing tools for you. I'm here as your queen of how of all things widow to help you map your how to doing the things that define growth, happiness, and peace for you going forward. Be sure to check out my channel on Instagram and on Facebook, and check out the links below to find me elsewhere on the web. If you're looking for membership or community or even events and retreats, please check out the links below. It's all there in the description. Make sure you stay to the end of the video. I've got some goodies in that for you, and I'll see you in the comments. Thanks for watching. Let's talk about sex. Okay. Talk about sex, baby. I'm dating myself. I am aging myself, letting you know that yes, I'm a millennial. But let's talk about sex. So I am going to open this with the funniest, to me, the funniest phrase I've ever heard when it comes to what widows feel like they're doing. Two very funny phrases. One of them, what they feel like they're doing, or two very funny phrases to describe what it feels like we're doing when we are confronted with the idea that we are completely physically alone, and are definitely in a space where sex is something that we feel deprived of. And the first phrase is to describe it was, I heard on the forums, widow's fire. Wow. But the one that is the kicker that always makes me giggle just a little bit or a lot is wid hoeing. Oh my gosh. Please put in the comments if you've heard that before. That is hilarious to me. Not wid hoeing. What? But I get it. I get it. I get it. Especially when you're in a stage in your life, and I'm not going to judge about when that stage is. You could be 65, you could be 22, whenever that stage is for you, where you feel like, oh my gosh, if something doesn't happen, I'm gonna die. um, I totally get that. And this is a judgment-free zone. Okay, so we got the giggles out, got them giggles out. This segment is about this segment of welcome back. My name is Maya Dion, and I am your favorite widow coach, your bounce back widow. And this segment is called Dating in Widowland. This session is called Sex and the Boundaries. Let's talk about them. So, dating in Widowland, there are a couple of pressures when it comes to sex. The first pressure is obviously internal. You're like, oh my goodness, I had a healthy relationship with my husband, and that was something that we did on a regular, and we're a married couple, so that is what we're supposed to be doing. Amen. But when you come out of said covenant and you are, out here in the world as a grown-up woman, you have some decisions to make. Okay. So, like I said, this is a judgment-free zone. Whatever you decide to do is between you and God. However, why you decide to do these things and which you decide to do is what we're here to talk about today. So, we're going to talk about the which first. Whether you decide to be sexually active, in your dating journey is completely up to you. But the issue that I found we as widowed women, from clients and myself, run into is if whatever our answer is, we have a hard time sticking to it. Why do we have a hard time sticking to it? First of all, there's, like we just talked about, the pressure that we feel to fulfill a need that was obviously a routine need. Or even to fill in a need where if we wanted something new or an adventure in some kind of way, whatever. There's that internal need, that carnal, physical need. There's also pressures on the outside. We're not talking about just men pressuring you. We're talking about the feeling of inadequacy if we don't fulfill what they want. Because if we really get into it, there's a piece of being widowed where your self-esteem, it's not just how you feel about yourself and, I've been in grief, so I've been sad and I haven't brushed my teeth and whatever, whatever. It's not just that. It is how you don't feel like you're being seen the way your husband saw you. And the moment somebody gives you that attention, it's addictive, it's attractive. It's, oh my gosh, please give me more of that because I've been missing it for so long. Nobody has smacked my butt while I was cooking dinner. Nobody has, carried me away into the bedroom in a long time. Nobody has, said to me or made me feel like the attractive and sexy woman that my husband made me feel like in a long time. And I don't want it to stop. I don't want it to end. And so whether our answer on our boundary was yes or no, we tend to change what it is to suit the person that we're with that is asking us to make these choices. Why do we do that? We want to be accepted. We want to be loved. We want to be chosen. That's something that women struggle with that I have learned as a behavioral coach, as a life coach, as a widowed coach, and even as a relationship coach and a person that is been in relationships. Women struggle with being chosen. We want, that whole what you won't do, someone else will. It plays on like a broken record, rent free, living in our minds all the time, even if the guy doesn't say this. And while we do die a little bit when they say things like this to us, instead of shutting off or rejecting that kind of love and attention, we kind of tend to ignore it. We tend to lean in instead of leaning back. We tend to say, oh, I'm just here to see what happens. I'm here on an adventure. I'm here to, I don't have any expectations. No expectations? None at all? No respect for your body autonomy, no respect for your decisions, no wanting to get to know who you are. None of that? You don't want any of that? Or would you like swoon on the floor if he was like, babe, we don't have to do anything. I just want to sit here and love on you without, respectfully. I would swoon. I would, because it's not that burning inside me did I not still want sex. It would be that I would be so happy that I was not pressured to be something I'm not. And if it were the other way around, and if I did want sex and that person was did not want it, would I be less attracted? Maybe. And I might stay in that relationship because it's all I have at the moment. I might not speak up and tell them about the incongruousness of our desires because I don't want to rock the boat. I don't want to. I don't want them to feel that I am not satisfied because having been in a marriage, you already know how delicate the relationship is between a man and a woman. You know how delicate and fragile their egos are. And so we're walking on eggshells, trying to make sure that we are desirable, that we are chosen, that we are desired, and that we are respected with some loose, some loose boundaries. So the point here of this conversation is to talk about those boundaries. Because I think, and I've seen proven that when you set boundaries that really do jive with who you are and you're able to stick to them, not only does that speak volumes in the relationship that you're in, the bond that you have with this person that's able to either respect your wishes or be on the same page as your wishes, it says that this is working without you having to figure it out, without you having to be confused and, girl, should I do this? Or therapist, should I do that? Or what's wrong with me? All of those feelings, and we go back to facts and feelings, all of those feelings are confusing. All of the facts or not. If the fact is you said this and he said cool, where is where is the confusion? Where is the discomfort? Where is the insecurity? Where is the ego eggshell walking? Gone. All of that. And I understand that I'm making it sound very easy. It is not an easy conversation to have at all. It is not an easy thing to do, to set boundaries and have someone, you know, not agree. It's not easy. It's not easy to end a relationship or end contact with somebody because they don't respect your boundaries. However, severing ties that weren't cement in the first place, that were kind of wobbly anyway, the time and the energy it takes to continue to bandage ties like that and to try and keep them together is not even worth all the happiness that you have when there's automatically a gel, when there's a growth process into a gel. And what do I mean by that? I'm using metaphors to say basically, would you rather have a building that, was built correctly the first time? Or would you rather continue to patch one that has holes, that is dilapidated, that has, broken doors and, broken locks and continues to get robbed all the time? Robbed all the time. So, which would you rather do? So there's that. So choosing whether or not you want to be sexually active and choosing to have boundaries and stick to them is something that definitely needs to happen before you go into relationships, before you get past the first or second date, honestly. Not to be awkward about it, but to just talk about it. I mean, you're adults. And if he can't talk to you about it in an adult kind of way, do you want this guy? Right? So talking about it and being open with your boundaries is a definite thing. And if that's something you don't want to do and you're not comfortable with, are you ready for it? Because if you're still squeamish and giggling and, oh my gosh, like, ew, and is my husband watching us? Like, maybe you're not ready. That is an underlying immaturity that is not about your character. It's about your capacity to be in that space at that moment. That's your inner self telling you, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I'm ready. Right? So can't even talk about it. Don't do it. Right? Okay. So then we're switching over to what the boundaries need to be. I'm not going to tell you what boundaries to have, but I'll tell you some that you need to set for yourself in the which of it all. And I would say definitely have boundaries around how long you want to wait. If you do want to be sexually active, but you want to wait a little while, you want to set a boundary on what that little while is. Is it 3 weeks? Is it 3 months? Is it a year? Set it and be firm. A man who is not interested in you at all won't want to do it. He'll be out. Peace out. And he may be so fine and all of these things. And I know you've had this talk with your daughter or you've had this talk before. Think of it like you're talking to your daughter when you talk to yourself about this. What would you tell your daughter? That is or your son. That I think is a really good guideline. It was for me anyway, a really good guideline. At the time I didn't have a daughter, but I thought, if I had a daughter or, if I'm telling this to my son, what would I tell him as far as, his own boundaries to me and to how to stick to them and what to do with people that don't want to stick to them or threaten to run away if they don't stick to them. Right? So the how long, the whether or not you want to have sex at all, the boundaries around your preferences, things that you want to do versus things you might not be into. Those are things that you need to state. Other boundaries that people don't really talk about with a sexual relationship is a sexual relationship tends to, I'm not going to say rush the trust, but it tends to act as a trust bond. And this means now you are trusting of this person with, your health. Do you have health boundaries? Like, I need us to be tested. I need you to be tested. Do you have a certain every now and then you want to get tested? What are your boundaries around? Another one is how many people you want to be involved with at once, and how many people are they involved with at once? And are we willing and consenting to be honest about that? You know, and that's an adult conversation. I mean, I understand that y'all are telling me, and I was there, that there is pee in this dating pool. But let me tell you, pouring in the chlorine to clean out the pee means that some people are going to get out. And you didn't want them anyway because they're covered in pee. You know? So pouring in the chlorine is like, okay, I'm going to acknowledge that there are some people in here in this pool with me that are not going to be as they're not going to jive with my boundaries. And you need to be okay with that, because in the cleaning process, some of the dirt got to go, you know? So, and you don't want to put yourself in situations like, oh no, now I'm on Maury Povich, or oh no, now I'm on Geraldo. Again, I'm aging myself. Now I'm on some talk show. I'm not going to say Ricky Lake. Don't look at me like that. And somebody's saying, you don't know who the father of the next kid is. Like, we don't want that. We don't want the oopsies. We don't want the weirdness. We don't want the STDs. We don't want any of the drama, because you have enough on your plate. You have enough going on. Set the boundary. What is too much? What is totally fine? What levels of honesty are we dealing with? Are we dealing with what you don't know won't hurt you? Are we dealing with respect me enough not to have me find out? Or are we dealing with, I'm going to be totally upfront and you're going to be totally upfront, and that's the agreement. Once we find out somebody's not doing that, it's over. Like, these are heavy questions that I would not suggest getting all into the details on the first date. That's a little bit much. But once you start getting to a space where sex is becoming a conversation, this is where the boundaries need to be set. That's all I have for you. I'm sure there's 100 different ways that this conversation could keep going. Put them in the comments below about something else you want to talk about, and I can answer that in a new video. Would you like me to say more about this? Was this just enough? Was this helpful? Let me know in the comments. I'm Maya Dion. Thanks a lot. Talk to you soon. In the next video, in Dating in Widowland, kids, family, and in-laws, and setting those boundaries. Talking about how your kids may come into the picture with dating, how in-laws and family may put in their 2 cents, and what you can do to set boundaries so that it's you making the decisions about the relationship you're in next. That's the next video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Thanks for watching Dating in Widowland. I hope you loved what you saw here. I hope the information was so helpful for you. This is a series. If you're looking for more in-depth, really juicy, awesome information from someone who actually dated and remarried in Widowland, please check out the rest of the series below. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please drop them below. I always answer my comments. Thanks for watching. Bye.